That was fun.
Hello, and welcome to All About the Bass. I'm Nathan.
I'm Lee.
Yes,
Hello.
and what? Well, do you want to do your intro? Because you know you love you doing that.
I do. Well, today we are doing another shoot-off with this beautiful new amp, the Katana bass, which you'll see that's come on the scene very...
Shoot-off?
Shoot-off? Shoot-out? One of those.
A bake-off?
Bake-off. We're having a bake-off between the Ampeg and the Katana.
Or is it a comparison video? See, a shootout sounds very harsh.
That's,
it sounds like somebody's going to be taking out a shot at the end of it.
You're right, yeah, it's very true.
You know, I think the comparison is much nicer.
It sounds nicer. Yeah, no, it is right. And we did it on these with the Rumble, so comparing it to the Rumble Fender.
We did that in the jungle.
We did in the jungle. So click above here somewhere, there'll be a link to that if you want to see that video. Equally, there's a proper in-depth video we did on this Katana amp. So there's so many features in this that we probably won't get around to do it today, but please have a look at that if you want the full in-depth rundown of this. But it's really, as you can see, these are both 210 combos, similar size, similar money. We thought just let's see what they both do or don't do comparatively to each other.
Well, that sounds fair.
I just can't get my words out. Sorry. Yes. So,
all right. So what have I got? I've got this. I've got the Rocket RB210.
Yes, indeed. Which is apparently 500 watts. Well,
500
yes.
watts. I think the idea is that if you pair it up with another cab, you're going to get the max wattage out of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's 500. Just on its own, but obviously
probably when you put an extension cab,
cab, because it says on here you got 250 watt external separate, cab out. So
cool. So probably as is, it's about 250, 300 watts.
Yeah, I think probably something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And this one, well, that's saying that one of the first
RMS.
features. Yes. So you were saying that's Class D. RMS. This is 160 watts, so you might think, well, where's that? Why is that so low comparative to this? But this is an AB power amp design, so that you're pushing different frequencies through different speakers, which is meant to give you a bit more of a realistic, lively response, and a bit more volume with that as well, apparently. So,
okay. So yes, so it's not just as simple as saying it's this many watts.
No.
It depends how they deliver the watts.
Exactly that. So yeah, don't be put off by you thinking, oh, well, I'm not just going to turn off now because that's not powerful enough for me, for what I need for gigging with. You'll be very surprised if you can come and try one of these in person, because they will blow your head off.
Crikey. Well, there you go.
Indeed.
You're so violent today.
Oh, yes.
Shooting off people's heads. What's the matter with you? Are you all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Everything all right at home?
Yeah, apparently.
Right. All right.
Okay.
Well, so where do we start? That's the question.
Okay, yeah, I think because the main differences you'll see between these. This has a lot more effects and saving functions in it. So you've got not only different preamps to start off with. You have savable effects and banks of presets that you can go into that. So we won't go all through that, but that is something that does over this. This doesn't have any of that kind of capability.
This is much more of a straightforward amp.
That's it.
What you see is what you get.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think
with the classic Ampeg.
Oh yeah.
Sound.
Definitely.
Obviously.
Yeah. And I think so. We maybe just keep it as we'll match up the same gain, level output, and EQ straight, as it were, and then we'll just do a quick A/B as they are, and then we'll get into the extra features that this has, maybe, and this one possibly as well.
All right. Well, shall we have a look at the Ampeg first?
Yes.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you play?
Okay, Dick. Yeah.
Because I'm kind of sat nearer to it.
Okay, mate. Thank you.
Now, I forget my old glasses, mate. Oh, right. So, just having a look up here.
Yep.
We've got two inputs. One's got a minus 15 dB pad on it in case you've got a particularly hot bass. But for most basses, just use the 0 dB one. That's fine.
Oh, and saying about that, just on this, these are passive basses we're using today. These are the new 40th anniversary Squires.
Oh, that's very lovely looking. Oh, isn't that nice?
Spangly with the gold. Yes.
How anodised.
Oh, indeed.
So we've got like a master volume right in the middle.
Handy.
Handy. We've got 3-band EQ.
Cool.
We've got Ampeg's own sort of ultra low, ultra high.
EQ
switches.
kind of scope. Yeah.
And then we've also got this sort of overdrive section here, the SGT, Super Grit technology. If you want a bit of super grit.
Always.
And obviously that gives you some fuzz and a separate sort of level control on there, so you can balance it up between your clean and your fuzz sound. If you want your fuzz sound to leap out, you can do that, or vice versa.
Nice.
And then headphone socket, aux in, and some stuff on the back. Horn, okay, so we've got a tweeter. Most amps have these days, a little high frequency horn in there. You can turn it off. You've got on-off switch. External speaker, so that's the power amp out.
Yes.
To another cabinet, get a bit more volume. And you might want to use a 15 with it or something like that.
Just get different frequencies. Yeah.
Yes. SGT switch, so a foot switch to switch between the two channels, clean and dirty.
Indeed.
Effects loop in and out, and then a DI out, which has got a ground lift on it, and that's it. That's what you got.
That's what you get.
So we just go through some tones.
Yeah, no problem at all. I'll keep everything tone on and both pickups on this jazz. So,
all right. So I'm going to mess about with, we'll try this ultra high, ultra low, and I'll mess about with the EQ, and then we'll do a bit of the Super Grit channel and see what that's like.
Love it. Okie dokie. Beautiful.
There you go. Well, that's got some. You can tell it's an Ampeg right away.
Yes.
It sounds like an Ampeg.
Yeah, it does indeed. Yeah.
That's what's great about that. Unmistakable sort of sound.
Just a wall of bass. but beautiful sounding bass.
I do love this, the sort of ultra low and ultra high switches, you know, are kind of a bit sort of mysterious as to what they actually do, but they really imbibe a certain sort of tone over the whole thing.
Yeah,
that isn't just EQ, it's not just, you know, some sort of preset EQ thing. It really gives it that Ampeg thing.
Yeah.
That, you know, the sort of Ampeg... the classic sounds, you know, that somebody would be after.
Yeah, cool.
And the fuzz, very nice as well, actually.
Really nice, man.
Quite usable.
Yeah, very, very smooth sounding and feeling as well when you're playing around with it. You know, some of them can be a bit harsh or a bit like, ugh.
Well, exactly. And when it's harsh, you don't want to play it.
No, that's it. So
and you weren't getting that from there, no?
No. So very, very intuitive, very musical.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's your Ampeg Rocket right there.
Yeah, cool.
Should we have a little look at the Katana?
Let's do it. Yeah, should we swap over?
Yeah.
If I put this down, you have a little play on this guitar. So yeah, I will stick to the same thing, same sort of thing. We will, this one has got a little bit of compression. This one doesn't have, so look, I'll tell you what, let me take that off now, compress it off, so I'll just match what I can to that. We've got flat EQ.
Kind of flat.
We are there. So, okay, I'll play with the EQ, and if there's any... There are, on this one, you've got vintage, flat, and modern preamp modelling. So I'll play around with the EQ first, and then go back to the preamp and just have a play around with that so you can see the differences there. But then I won't go too crazy with the effects or anything yet. We'll show you that afterwards. So.
Yeah, so I too have the 40th anniversary Squire. So it's the same bass, different colour.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're basically putting the same bass through it, tonally.
Absolutely.
And also, they're both being DI'd, but also we've got some mics on the front, some nice Shure Beta 52s. So, you know, we can swap between those. Just, you'll see, it'll come up on the screen what you're listening to.
Beautiful.
So you get an idea of what the cab sounds like too, which is very important, of course.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, and on that, because these are nothing against Eminence speakers, but Eminence are an industry standard for the use of for amps and the speakers in this. The Katana are custom designed for this amp. So when these were released just a month ago or so, we went through this, and yeah, these are all designed for this particular amp. So there's no kind of spare part, or like, you know, what they call it, the OEM parts, like so you can, none of that. This has all been designed in-house for the Boss amp, so you might hear something differently when you're going through the speakers, the microphones. So.
Not to say that's better or worse, but
that's
just the way it is.
It's just as it is, yeah. So
right then,
cool.
Shall we have a listen?
Let's go.
Okay then.
Love it. Love it. And as well, yes. As I
very
went,
different kettle of fish.
yes, it is. It is. And actually, you can hear quite a bit when I was seeing sort of signalling when I was switching the preamp type. So we actually started on vintage. That was a vintage setting.
Right.
Then went to flat and then to modern. And all I did was do more of a smiley face EQ and then the other way, sad face, sad face, smiley face with each. So hopefully you were seeing how that manipulates it as well.
So what were you getting from those different amp models? Was that sounding
initially when I kept
to
it
you?
flat on the EQ? Yeah, you can hear like the modern's got just that slightly sweeter, slightly brighter starting point, as it were, and then the vintage is the opposite, more of a warm, flat sound to start from. So it definitely does manipulate it. I was actually seeing as well that remember the feature that this is shining at me on the low mid and the high mid on this. You get programmable frequency options. So I didn't press any of that. I was just with the dials, but just so you know, you can go into that and actually program, I think 3 possible different low mids and high mids that you can switch through as you need to adjust that again. You know,
I mean, this is the thing. You know, I mean, it's a fair comparison in the fact that there's similarly power wise, and obviously speaker layout wise.
Yep.
They're very similar on that front, and of course the difference is this being much more of a standard bass amp. Just got does that.
Yep.
Very, very well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it sounded really nice.
Yeah.
Katana, it's just got so many features. I mean, if you go, as Lee said earlier, we did a very in-depth look at this when it came out. So go and watch that. If you're interested in the Katana, go and see, because it does so much stuff. It's crazy.
Incredible. Yeah.
But again, it's a different kind of amp, isn't it? So horses for courses. Some people don't want all that.
No, some people, I've met bass players that are just like, what, you've got effects? You have effects as a bass player? I just use a tuner and that's it. Even compression sometimes they don't even use. So I get it when, if there are you guys out there that just won't want all this and will prefer something like this. But just to give you an idea, and this can really open up into the iOS features, everything they've got on apps and laptops. You can mold this.
There's all sorts of crazy sounds. Bluetooth connectability.
All of those gizmos, yeah. But what I might do, I've just seen here, do you want to keep playing through it, mate? And I'll show just the people a few extra quick options as this does as well. We don't go for the whole thing, but please do check out that other video. Yeah. But just a few effects, and we've got some compression and some drive on here that I didn't show you as well. So we can have a look at that and see what we think.
Do it.
Yes. So that was just the 2 effects that are built in at the moment. You can change these, but there was an octave and some sort of chorus or phaser going on there as well. And hopefully you heard, I just went through very quickly, but the 3 types of drive that are currently built into that. So they come up as colours, so either green, red or yellow. and you'll hear there's different amounts and different characteristics for those as well. So
Cool.
just a very quick run through, but yeah, that's everything in this, all the bells and whistles, and but yeah, I think again, for what it is, as you said, you know, like you can tell that's that's Ampeg in a box right there.
It
you know,
totally
and
is.
if you love that,
yeah, you totally can. When you were
You love
playing
that.
it, and I was just messing around, it was just like that's Ampeg sound, and
Yeah.
that's what, if you're after the classic Ampeg sound, that's got it.
it's what you want without spending thousands on the 1,000 watt or 100 watt head, tube head,
Yeah.
and an 8x10.
And ended up in A&E with
Yeah,
a
trying to carry
slip
it.
disc. Yeah, and I've got, and then the boss, you know, has got all the bells and whistles and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, again, horses for courses, really. I spoke. What about money? Because that's going
Money's
might come into it. For
Yeah,
somebody.
absolutely. So Katana 549,
Right.
Ampeg 639. So a little bit more for the Ampeg.
Okay.
I mean, and I think I put down there just the weights. This might be something you're interested in. Just again, I'm always thinking about this. This is 17 kilos or 17.7. This one's 21.8. So a little bit
That's
heavier.
interesting. Now I would have said the Ampeg, just looking at it,
Yeah.
which doesn't mean anything. I would have said it was heavy, but it's not.
No.
It's
no.
a bit lighter.
Yeah. This is about 4 kilos
on a
heavier.
minute.
He wants to try. He's going to try.
I do. Oh no, that's not heavy at all.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
a 210,
Yeah,
500 watt amp.
Yeah.
That's really light.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
So yeah, there we go. I mean, hopefully this is handy for you guys if you're looking for an amp. You know, you're looking at these that have just come out in the last couple of years anyway. It might be handy just for you to have an A-bead and, you know, see what.
And
see
also,
what you think.
you know, go back, because we've as you said earlier, we've done comparisons on this with a Rumble. We've
Yes,
done
Fender
comparisons with this and a Rumble.
Yep.
And we also are going to do a comparison with this and the Rumble Studio, which is
Yeah.
a bit more sort of like for like, because the Rumble Studio has the modelling and effects in it as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, you know, hopefully with all those videos, you'll get an idea of the difference between them. You know?
Yeah. For this sort of market.
It's like
and
a
the
public
combos.
service we're doing here. It's
Oh,
amazing, isn't it? I mean,
it's, you know.
and it's free.
Well, this is it.
Stop complaining.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Or if you want to complain, you know, keep it friendly. Put it down below, you know. And we do read, you know, any suggestions, any other amps that you'd like to shoot this out, you know, see this shot out against. I'm saying these words again. Sorry. Then please let us know. You know, we do keep an eye, and we will oblige. You know, we are here for a service, as you said.
What happened?
Which would you buy?
Me, just that straight away. I just I love Ampeg and I love these, but this, since it's come on the scene, I think I'd put up with the extra 4 kilos for all the stuff you get with that personally. But we're all different.
I
do you
think
think?
I think it would depend on what the gig was. To be honest with you, if I needed something to sound like an Ampeg, I'd have to get the Ampeg, because it just sounds like an Ampeg.
Yeah, but you could possibly go into the
That's
online
I think
thing.
that's another video though, isn't it?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, no, it is. It is.
Can we make that sound like that?
Good shout. Because I say, they're on their online tone studio thing.
Oh, really? Yeah.
You can manipulate into kind of different brand sounding amps.
Well,
so
maybe we'll look into that.
yeah, maybe we could
Let's get all the amps in here
See if
and
we
make
can
this,
make
make
that
this one
sound
sound
like
like all of them. But no, I
us
love
know.
because I do love fidgets and gadgets and all that. So I love all that.
Yeah.
And I would love to mess around with that, you know. But I certainly wouldn't go, oh, this all day.
Yeah.
I really think this has got its place.
Oh no, too right. I'm with you there.
And I know a lot of guys just want that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's absolutely fine. So yet again, I'm sitting on the fence.
Ah, it's all good. It's all good.
So anybody who wants
Yeah.
to give me something, then maybe I'll change my opinion.
Maybe you'll lean. You'll fall into a certain garden. Either way.
Yes. No, I'm joking, of course.
But let us know what you think, and say if you can come
Yes.
down, please come down to Andertons and try these out.
You've got to do it. Yeah, you've got to hear it in the room, because that's the way, you know.
Yeah, and say don't let the wattage put you off, because you wouldn't know the difference. If you told me this was 500 watts in this room, I would just go by that.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
sounds
just
like
a
that.
different way of rating it, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit misleading. So don't worry about that.
No.
So there you go. Rocket 210
Lovely.
RB and a Katana.
Yes.
210B.
Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, yes. And we shall see you again on another All About the Bass. Put some reverb on that.
Bass!
Yes, goodbye.